ಸರಿ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. My dear brothers and sisters, my dear students, Namaskar. I am your DGK sir from Akkalkot, Sholapur district, Maharashtra. Today in this video, in this spirit, I am discussing about English literature related Nobel Prize for Literature. Nobel Prize for Literature. This is a subtopic. On this subtopic, in every exam, in KSET exam or in Maharashtra SET exam or in NET NET exam, one question every time one question is coming on this subtopic. So here on the blackboard, I wrote 57 names. It's my humble request to all of you. Please write down the 57 number, 57 authors name and when they got the Nobel Prize. It is very easy for you to remember the 57 persons names, authors names, and when did they get the Nobel Prize. What happens, you know, if we are not reading it multiple times, if we are not doing the revision, then we will not exactly remember in the exam. So please, these 2 marks are in your hand, these 2 marks are in your pocket. Now let us start the author and when they received the Nobel Prize for English literature. Please remember here, I made one trick, I made one plan. Those authors who contributed to English literature, such authors' names are asking in the exam. Please remember. Actually, in 1901, the Nobel Prize started till today. Today is 2024. But I only pick up the author who were contributed to English literature, okay, or who got the Nobel Prize for their contribution for English literature, especially American author or Indian author or African author who received the Nobel Prize for their work that is related to English. Now, in 1901, Nobel Prize started. The first person who received the Nobel Prize, Rene Francois and Armand Sully Prodhome. Okay, please remember, first 2 person got the Nobel Prize in 1901. After that, 1902, Theodore Mommsen. Every time I read all these writers' name before going to NET exam or KSET exam or SET exam. I got the mark. You also please read it, remember it. In 1907, Rudyard Kipling, he was the first England person. He was from British person who received the Nobel Prize. Many times the question were asked on this point. Who was the first person from British who received the Nobel Prize? Rudyard Kipling. Or when did Rudyard Kipling receive the Nobel Prize? 1907. In 1907, who received the Nobel Prize? Rudyard Kipling. Okay, Rudyard Kipling. Then 1913, Rabindranath Tagore. Okay, the first Asian to receive the Nobel Prize, the first Indian to receive the Nobel Prize. 1913. 1914, First World War was started. So no award was given. In 1915, roman roland roman roland. Then 1918, first world was completed, Nobel award was not given. In 1923, WB Yeats received the Nobel Prize. In 1925, GB Shaw, George Bernard Shaw, who wrote the Pygmalion. Okay, GB Shaw, he wrote more than 60 plays. GB Shaw. Then 1929, Thomas Mann. Thomas Mann. 1930, Sinclair Lewis. 1932, John Galsworthy. John Galsworthy. In 1934, Luigi Pirandello, In Search of Six Character. That work he has written. Luigi Pirandello. 1934. 1935, no award. Please remember. 1914, no award. 1918, no award. 1935, no award. Then 1936, Eugene O'Neill received the Nobel Prize. Then 1937, Pearl Buck. 1942, 1947, Nobel Prize award. 1946, Hermann Hesse. He wrote the world famous work Siddhartha. Hermann Hesse, German author. Then 1948, T.S. Eliot. 1949, William Faulkner. 1950, Bertrand Russell. 1953, Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister. 1954, Ernest Hemingway, The Old Man and the Sea. He has written it, Ernest Hemingway. 1957, Albert Camus. Albert Camus. 1962, John Steinbeck. 1964, Jean-Paul Sartre. 1969, Samuel Beckett. 1971, Pablo Neruda. Pablo Neruda, Brazilian Brazil, so yes, Brazil author, Chile author, Pablo Neruda. If you die slowly, that poem he has written. 1971. 1973, Patrick White, O's novel he has written. 1976, Saul Bellow. 1982, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. 1983, William Golding. 1986, Ol Soyinka. 1987, Joseph Brodsky. 1991, South African author Nadine Gordimer. 1992, Derek Walcott. 1993, Toni Morrison. 1995, Seamus Heaney. 1999, Gunter Grass. 2001, our Indian author V.S. Naipaul. 2003, J.M. Coetzee. 2005, Harold Pinter, dramatist. 2007, Doris Lessing. 2009, Herta Muller. 2012, Mo Yan. 2013, Alice Munro. Recently she died. 2014, Patrick Madiano. 2015, Svetlana, Russian author, Svetlana Alexievich. 2016, Bobby Dylan. 2017, Kazuo Ishiguro, Japan writer. Then 2018, Olga Tolargats. 2019, Peter Handke. 2020, Louis Gluck. 2021, Abdul Razak Gurnaha. Then 2022, Annie Yernax. In 2023, John Fossey. And at present year in 2024, the South Korean author Kong, Han Kong received the Nobel Prize for Literature. So, dear friends, once again I request you, remember the names and remember it, remember it, remember it. You will get the 2 marks. Each mark is very important in your result. Thank you so much. Namaskar.